very first card that you got is from Radha, talking about a soul flame, inviting you to bring back a lost part of yourself. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship harmony and healing. So this reading feels very much about a relationship. This one and lots of the readings this month seem to be about relationships, and it's sort of the romantic kind, you know, the love type relationships. Looks like for some of you, you might be having a bit of a hard time, and it looks like it has to do with trust. So Vishnu is coming in with trust. Now, usually this card means, you know, where you're being asked to trust something else, or someone, or trust yourself. And he is saying, yes, trust yourself for sure. But in this context, and coming up right next to her, what they're saying is that this lost part of yourself has to do with trust issues. It's like the context of the struggle in relationship for you guys, or for some of you, is around trust. You're not trusting them. They are probably not being trustworthy, because you are meant to deal with something around trust. So what this typically means when she's coming up and saying bringing back a lost part of you, indicates that there was some severe trauma where a piece of you kind of was left from this trauma. And now it's time to bring that part of you back. And so Vishnu is saying it's about trust. So if you're having trust issues, it's coming from a trauma that you went through a very long time ago, and it's time to bring that back. The next card that comes up is change. And this change is good. So while this change card, you know, a lot of decks carry a card that talks about change, but in this particular card, notice how the colors of this are just kind of dark. So they're saying that this change from darkness, in a way, is a good change. It's going to bring about some really positive things for you, to bring this part of you back. Something happened. Something really traumatic happened. A betrayal. I would guess a betrayal where you trusted somebody and you were betrayed so horrifically. You might have been, you know, you might have passed. Okay. So they're saying it's a past life, and the way that that life ended was not good because of a betrayal. So it's that level of betrayal that's causing this level of trust issues. They're saying that this has come up before for you, where trust in relationships has been an issue. It feels like maybe it's been a pattern that in this relationship that looks like you might be in sort of right now, that's and there's a bit of drama going on, but this same issue feels like it's maybe been ongoing. Maybe you've been in this relationship for a long time, and this trust issue just keeps coming up. It's kind of now to a point where, okay, it's really time to look at this. This is a lost part of you that is crying for your attention, and it's showing up in a way that your relationship is running into trust issues. This lost part of you is really trying to get your attention. It's time. It's time to work this out. And so, in this betrayal of a past lifetime, the saint that wants to come up for you is Saint Bernadette, asking you to speak your truth. So what she's saying is that she's asking you to speak your truth, but it might have been that in this past life you were speaking your truth, and in doing that you were betrayed, almost for speaking your truth. It's like the betrayal had to do with you being empowered and speaking your truth as sort of a healer, maybe. Sort of a rebel, a renegade, not backing down, just speaking your truth out there. And so she's asking you, no, stand strong, be brave, speak your truth. So it could be that some of you might be struggling with that. There might be a bit of a struggle to speak your truth. There might be, trust issues with the other, but also sort of trust, also sort of a bit of fear. Fear would be the base of your guardian angel asking you to be brave. Because being brave is about feeling that fear. It's about feeling fear and doing it anyway. Feeling fear, feel the fear, and do it anyway. Speak up, speak your truth. Don't back down. Be brave. Speak your truth, no matter what. So it could be that some of you sort of maybe don't speak your truth, or you don't quite speak your truth, because if you do, something really bad might happen, like it did in a past life. And if that's how a life ended, that energy just keeps coming. It's just ingrained in your DNA, and it keeps coming. But with the frequencies that our planet is at now, and with the ascension, and because Aquarius is so aware and heightened, awake, you guys can get to this now. You can reach this depth of healing that's being called for now, and this can change everything. This change is really, really good. As far as speaking your truth, it could be that some of you just sort of sugarcoat things that you're trying to say to stay safe. And Bernadette is saying, you know what, it's time. It's time for this change where you just speak your truth. Just be brave, don't back down, and speak your truth. Your sensitivities are increased. All of your sensitivities are high, Aquarius. So you can feel all of this more intensely. It's going to be harder to ignore your own inner voice and your own truth. It's going to be harder to ignore that now because your sensitivities are higher. Right? Because your sensitivities are higher. So this card kind of has two meanings. This card has two meanings. One is because your sensitivities are higher, it will be more and more difficult for you to ignore your own voice, your own truth. It's going to be harder for you not to it's going to be harder and harder for you to back down, to stay safe. It's just going to be harder and harder for you to do that. And the other meaning for this card is to say because your sensitivities are higher, your empathy, empath abilities in terms of feeling the energy of another person. If this relationship that you're in, is where there's trust issues and you doubt yourself and you doubt the relationship, those kinds of feelings are going to feel like times 10 now. Have you noticed that? You might start noticing that. It'll start to get really painful, and it'll be more and more difficult to be in environments with that kind of energy, no matter who it is. So avoid harsh environments is what they're saying. Harsh environments and harsh energies of people, situations, all of that. So that is not to say that you need to break up with this person or you need to divorce this person, not necessarily, but people can change. Others can change, not because you can make them change or try to help them be trustworthy, but you can try to help them with, if your focus is on them and trying to help them be a better person, that kind of thing almost never works. But ironically, when you work and focus on yourself, which is the only place you have control, is over your own self, your environment, your sensitivities. Your truth is yours and nobody else's. Speaking your voice, having a voice and speaking your truth, that's 100% in your control. The irony is that when you speak your truth from a confident, whole place, once you integrate this lost part of you, do some inner work to integrate this lost part of you, look at a past life and heal that situation and start speaking your truth in the relationship that you're in now. The irony is that by managing yourself, others in relation to you, as far as that resonance, will automatically shift in some way, probably for the better. If you shift for the better, they will either shift in to align with that, or it just won't work anymore, and then it will take its course, whatever it needs to take. But the priority is for you to speak your truth and not back down from what you know and believe is right. Right from wrong, integrity, basic fundamental things. You know if somebody is not being truthful about things. You know, you can feel it. Your sensitivities are high. You know it. And so if their words aren't lining up, if their words aren't making sense, and you're feeling like, oh, I don't know, you're probably right. So speak up. What are you comfortable with doing about that? So some really honest, deep conversations with this person, with a good timing. Sometimes arguments get heated. It's not a really good time to try to have a mature conversation if there's heat going on. But when the timing's good and you're having a good conversation, you can sit down with this person, maybe, and just make it a priority that you're going to honor your own truth and you're going to speak your own truth. Excuse me. You're going to choose peace. So if you're in a conversation with this person, trying to work something out, letting them know what your boundaries are going to be moving forward, kind of thing, choose from a peaceful, choose peace sort of first. Peace for you first. You can see the other's point of view without getting triggered, is what they're saying. Once this part of you comes back out, you'll be able to more easily see their point of view without getting that trigger of trust issue. If that makes sense. They're talking about a trigger. That you'll be able to see their point of view from a clearer, more observer kind of place once you integrate this part of you. And look at the root of the trust situation. And then they go into a little bit of sort of things that you can do. Some things that you can do. Laughter. Laughter is really good. So if this is getting a bit intense, this person's just kind of doing some things and you're just, that trust is just, I don't know. Once that's going on, then you try to, take some time to go in and do some deep inner work to try to do some healing. Laughter is such a good healer. Laughter just changes your frequency. It can clear things. Laughter, anything that can make you laugh, can bring clarity. It could be clarity around the conversation that you want to have with this person. It could bring clarity around the root of this and the healing of this. It can bring clarity around your truth. What is your truth? What your truth really is, and what boundaries are you comfortable setting, kind of thing. Laughter is really good. So find a friend that makes you laugh, or find some good movies that make you laugh. It's really healthy for you. The other thing is to allow yourself to receive. So what they're saying here with this one is, hanging out with some good friends that you do trust, that you can have some really honest conversations. And this is coming up like right underneath this one. It's coming up underneath this one. So allow yourself to receive conversations with others who are honest and truthful, and you can know it, and then you can feel the difference between having a honest conversation with this person versus a conversation with, you know, the relationship you're in now where this trust issue is a flag, you know, just this big red flag going on. Feeling into how that feels in a conversation with them about trust versus somebody you know you can trust and having that conversation, allowing yourself to receive mature, honest interactions with people that you can trust so that you can feel the difference. That's what she's saying. That's what Hathor is saying. Okay, the other thing that's coming up for you in terms of something you can do is to play music. Playing music. And you also got that practice makes perfect. And she is also playing an instrument. She's playing a harp. And we have a cello and like an old-fashioned guitar. Playing music and practicing your music. Playing music. Music has a really, you know, the frequencies of music, the resonance of music, frequencies, vibrations of music are very pure, right? They're very pure. They're honest. They're pure. So spend some time playing an instrument. If you don't play an instrument, then listen to some high frequency music. High frequency music will increase your frequency that will bring clarity, similar to the way laughter does. Similar to the way laughter just sort of changes. It just heightens your frequency. And can bring clarity. Talking with a really good friend that you trust, that you totally do trust, can absolutely bring peace and clarity for you. Choosing peace, playing some music, talking to a good friend you trust, laughing, right? Deliberately choosing peaceful environments for yourself is what Yogananda is suggesting that you might do. They're also asking you to hold on to your vision. This is coming from your guardian angel. Hold on to your vision. Look at how her hands are just like holding on, looking up to spirit, holding on to that vision, trusting spirit, and holding on to your vision for what you would like to accomplish, for who you are, for what your truth is, all of those sorts of things. Any projects you're working on. Your vision for the world, your vision for your life in a wonderful, positive way. And then just keep taking one step at a time, just one step at a time, one step at a time. Practice your music, you know. One step at a time makes big dreams come true. So holding on to your vision and then just taking one step at a time. And, you know, this feels like the priority is now you. You are the priority. Relationships are important. Relationships are wonderful. We come together in relationship oftentimes so that we can heal these sorts of things. Does that make sense? We come into a relationship to help each other heal. Again, this is not to say that you necessarily need to leave this person that you don't trust. You know, it feels like, okay, so it feels like some of you are saying, no, it's not their fault. I just don't trust. I don't trust them. It's my fault. I blow things out of proportion. I'm hearing some of you say, it's my issue. I'm damaged somehow. I need to work on this. He or she, the other, keeps telling me that it's my issue. You know, that's the thing about trust. That's the tricky thing about trust. The one who is not trustworthy will put it on you. That's a classic. So it's going to be really important for you to spend some time with spirit, you know, to heal this, get to the root, do some inner work, and get to the root of where this trust is coming from. And they're saying it's from a past life. It's from a betrayal from a past life, and that your life ended that way. So see if you can get to the root of that. See if you can get to the root of that, to heal that. Things will get really clear once you do. And then once you do that and you get super clear about your vision, you're taking one step at a time to make your dreams, your real dreams, your true dreams come true, then the Shekinah comes in and says, share your gifts with grace. Share your gifts with grace. Once you heal this and you get clear and you're ready to share your truth and speak your truth, unleash your spirit and express your gifts, dance with the sacred rhythm of life and truth and trust. You can trust spirit. Find others that you can trust. Yeah. And share your gifts with grace. So we have two here at the end, Paul the Venetian and the divine feminine creator. Feminine aspect of our creator is saying express your gifts. And Paul the Venetian is saying share your gifts with grace and love. He's all about love. Look at, he's got this rose right over his heart. This pink rose in his green jacket for the heart chakra. He's all about love, sharing the love that is in you with grace, expressing your gifts with grace, dancing with life in a happy, joyful way. And Ganesh comes in, wants to not just end the reading, but he wanted to be at the end so that he can go around and go, yes, 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 yes. So this is another one of those card situations or deity situations. Ganesh. Ganesh is the one who typically with his elephant trunk, he moves things out of your way so that you can go forward. So he's saying, yes, it's time. It's time to look at this. It's time to really get to the root of this trust situation and integrate this lost part of you back in. It's time for that change. And it will change you on a fundamental level. It will just change everything. It's just going to be amazing. And then, yes, be brave. Yes, speak your truth. You are very sensitive. Be mindful. Be around others that are honest, where you can feel that difference and feel how good that feels. Allow yourself laughter, great conversations with people you trust, playing music, and continuing to take one step at a time, trusting spirit. Yes, 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 and then share your gifts with grace. Express your gifts, dance with the universe.